Hello everybody, Jamie here from FMSCOUT. In today's video, I'm bringing you 10 players that you can sign for under £100,000. Now, this was requested quite a lot in a few of the videos, and yeah, we've got 10 players. I've actually got 20 players. I'm going to break it up into 2 videos, but some of these players, you know, you can moneyball them, signing them less for the 100k, and then trying to sell them on for more money. Now, if you are managing in England, you will probably need to get work permits for these players, but that's no reason not to sign them. You know, you could easily get work permit for these players by loaning them out and just giving them game time in your under-18s and stuff like that, or reserve teams. And yeah, you can make a bit of money off them. But if you do play in nations like Holland or Portugal, where you don't need these type of rules, or you don't have any work permit rules, you will be able to bring some of these players in for extremely cheap. And these are the best players in terms of current abilities. If you enjoy this, please hit that like button. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Bright Esiemi, who plays in Nigeria for Tornadoes. He is a right back, and you might be thinking he doesn't look that great, but he's actually pretty good for the value. You know, he's actually valued at 0, and is on £0 per week. I don't think I've actually ever seen a player on £0 per week at a club. It's the second division of Nigeria. It's a really strange player to come across, and he's got a good personality. His tackling's actually really, really good. His marking's good. His positioning's good. As a fullback, I think for a defend fullback, you know, attacking-wise, he is missing the crossing and the dribbling. But for a defend fullback, you won't be able to get someone this good for this price. Now, you can approach to sign Bright. You don't need to actually bid for him because he is valued at 0. He's not on a contract. And ironically, he's made 4 caps for Nigeria. I mean, I've never heard of him. Let me know in the comments if you have heard of this player. But for me, for that price of 0, I would honestly look at bringing this guy in. Now, probably one of my favourite players, Guilio Dos, who's a Paraguayan 25-year-old player. He is currently in the Mexican Second League at UAT. Is only valued at 3k. Is an advanced forward. He's got 15 dribbling. He's got 15 first touch. I really like his mental attributes. His attributes for physicals are really good as well. I think this guy, and his work rate is great as well. So, I mean, he can play advanced forward. He can play pressing forward. For me, this guy is kind of a little hidden gem. He's been at General Diaz, Unido, and UAT. And I think, again, if you try and make an offer for him, it's going to actually cost you 10k. That's £10,000 for a player who's got really good dribbling and really good first touch. I would always recommend getting a scout report on the player depending on what league you're in. But being only 25, you can definitely make some money off this guy. I think if he goes to a bit of a bigger club, his value will shoot up quite quickly. The reason his value is so low is because he's playing in the Mexican second tier. But I would seriously look at bringing this guy in. I mean, his record's not too great. You can see he made 115 appearances. So he scored 20 goals. But honestly, if you can get this guy in maybe like a Portuguese second tier team, is not going to want a lot of wages. So yeah, look at Guilio Dos. Now, you knew there wouldn't be a video without a South African player on this list. 26 years old, Ibrahimov, who is contracted to Cape Town City, valued at 16.25k. And I think this guy actually might be my favourite. I did this list a while ago, and I realised some of these players are really good. Now, this guy's a left back. He can play wing back. He's crossing and dribbling, as he is attacking, which is great as well. You can see dribbling and crossing 14 and 13. His tackling's good. His work rate is 16, and his off the ball is 15. He's also got a lot of pace. I would get a scout report on this player, but if he was to bid for Ibrahim, it's going to cost you around 16k. That's £16,000. That is really, really cheap. Now, honestly, I want you to let me know in the comments if you do sign this guy, because I think for a few years he could be your first choice left back, you know? It depending obviously what team you're at, but I think it would put, with his work rate and his mental attributes, I think this guy could be very, very big for you. A Norwegian now, so if you are in England, you will be able to get a work permit on Daniel Cavalde. So if you are maybe in the Championship, or if you're in League One, you might be able to get him. He's currently playing for Ranheim. Daniel Cavalde, who is in the first tier of Norway. He is 24, so he's the youngest player we've seen so far. Only on £350 per week. Is a central defender, so he will suit really well for your lower league teams. You can see he's made 170 appearances. He started at Rosenborg. You know, he's got a sporting personality. He does like to shoot with power, which is ironic. He dives into tackles and he hits free kicks with power. So he has got a bit of a good, he's a good free kick taker as well as a centre back. You could potentially play him as a DM as well, but that aggression you need to keep an eye out on. But the work rate, the positioning, the strength is all there. And if you was to make a bid for Daniel, it's going to cost you around 17k. They just want to arrange a friendly. But yeah, that's a really good deal for Daniel Cavalde, the 24-year-old Norwegian. Luis Acevedo, who is a Uruguayan 22-year-old, the youngest player we've seen now. And this guy is very, very good as well. You can see he's a false 9, so if you do play the DLF or the false 9, he can play in them roles as well. He can also play as a poacher, just can't really play as a pressing forward or target man. But overall, he's got great heading, so I mean, he could probably play as a target man. He's just a little bit short, but his decisions is good. His determination is good. His composure is good. His finishing's 13, so really not that bad. He is at Penarol, but they are owned by Nicolas Marquez, owns 75%, who is the agent. If you was to make an offer for Lewis, they will ask for 180k. I've kind of messed up the negotiation, so let me do it again. But they will ask for 180k. Now, you can just negotiate it down to about 97k, and they will accept that. So bear that in mind. But that is Luis Acevedo, and again, looks very, very strong. Leonel Alvarez, the Argentinian 24-year-old Segundo Volante. Now, we don't really see many Segundo Volantes on my playlist, but we found one. His media description is only defensive midfielder, but he's got a balanced personality as well. And technically, really, really good. He's got a few work to do on his mental. His composure's quite low. You may need to work on that. But he is 24, only valued at 29.5k. Currently playing for this team in the Dominican Republic. So that's the first time a Dominican Republic League player has ever shown up on one of my videos. I'm not going to lie. And you can see the physical attributes are really strong as well. So if we make an offer for Leonel, it's going to cost you around 110k. But you can get that to lower than 100k. But that is Leonel Alvarez. Back into Europe now, and a Danish centre-back, a really good Danish centre-back here, Tobias Selquist, the Danish 35k value, 1.1k per week. Actually, I think that's the highest we've seen in terms of wages. But he's got the tackling, he's 6'3", he's got good heading, he's got good jumping reach, 15 jumping reach. His leadership is 12, bravery, anticipation. Mentally, very strong. Again, another balanced personality, so not too bad. Spent most of his career in Denmark, it seems. Valued at 35k. If we try and make an offer, it's going to cost you exactly that at 35k. Now, the Lillestrøm do play in the top tier of Norway, so if you are in a League 1 team or something like that, if you've got 35k to spend, I would scout this guy and see if he'll join you. And if them guys don't work out for you for a centre-back, you have got Sad Natik, an Iraqi who is currently contracted to Al Shortra, who is valued at 31k. You can see his tackling, again, is really strong. His heading, 6'2", his jumping reach is good, his decisions is good, his leadership is good, and his anticipation is really good as well. He can slightly play as a ball-playing defender. In fact, he probably can, to be fair. It's just his technique is a little bit low, but he's valued at 31k. He's got 15 caps for Iraq as well. If we try and make an offer, it's going to cost you around 105k. You can negotiate that down much more less though. 98k. You could probably go lower as well. But that is Sad Natik. And Malawian now, Gabadinho Mango, who plays for Orlando Pirates. Now, Orlando Pirates are well known for a lot of good players and a lot of cheap players as well. Now, if you are looking for an advanced forward, which we've not really seen a natural advanced forward yet, we've got one right here, finishing of 14, that pace of 16, and that acceleration of 17, it will really do wonders for you in your league. You can see his first touch, his technique, his work rate, off the ball, determination is all very good, and he's got a pretty good record. It looks like he's spent most of his career kind of in Malawi or in South Africa. But, for me, he looks very strong. He is 26. He's got 30 caps for Malawi. And, yeah, very strong at 37k. If you try and make an offer for him, it's going to cost you around 150k. So you can, of course, negotiate this down to less than 100 and get Gabadinho in your team. Abdul, a Angolan player, 13.9k value, a central defender. There's been a few central defenders on this playlist today. Hopefully you enjoy that, because generally we see a lot of strikers and stuff. But he's playing at Interclub, who is an Angolan club who are in the top Angolan league. I can't click it because it's not playable on FM. But again, a very good centre-back, you know, maybe not as good as the other ones. But if you are looking, this guy has got really good current ability for his value. And, you know, you're not going to see the best players in the world on this video. But a lot of players like bargains and selling players on. So this guy is 25, got 8 caps and 2 goals as a centre-back for Angola. And you can see, like I say, with his tackling, his mental attributes kind of overweigh his technical and his physical. But his physical is also pretty strong as well. If he was to make an offer for Abdul, it's going to cost you around 135k. You can get this guy literally for 99k. And then that's it. Job's a good one. But apart from that, that has been the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And a lot of you have been asking me for this for a while. There's a mixture between European and kind of South American and African players. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit that like button. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.